Hey everybody, it's Jen. I am coming to you today to talk about July. I know that I just said on the 30th, I think I recorded and said I probably wouldn't be in before the 10th. It's July 6th. There's a couple things coming up. First of all, July feels bipolar. So I'm just gonna lay that out there right now. There's a couple really important things. First of all, at the beginning of the month, I feel like it's really important, and I just sent out an email, but I'm gonna go over it in here because there's this energy of almost like desperation. So I want you to really be aware of that. Like if you're feeling desperate, this is like a really intense energy of fear of missing out. And one of the things that I'm seeing is there's already so many spiritual people out there on social media. You have to be careful, guys. Like one of the things that I was thinking about this morning, and my guides were bringing me back to, is that they had said a while back that there was a religiosity in the air. Now, it didn't feel like religion, but it could be religion. I'm seeing an uptick in spirituality being an exciting, fun, new fad thing, which I know we've seen phases of that before, but it's there's this new energy of oh my God, it's so cool to be spiritual. And there's all these spiritual gurus popping up out of everywhere, right? And so you want to be really careful, because one of the things that I'm seeing is they're not giving and I'm not trying to be in judgment. So I'm just going to say this right now. I'm not trying to be in judgment about anybody that's out there doing their thing, because I'm all for that. Everybody has their part to play and everybody needs to do what they feel called to do, right? So for the people that are out there, at least they're bringing awareness, at least they're getting people excited. But anything that has a fear of missing out, be careful of that. Be in discernment for yourself around that, because they're capitalizing on the fear of missing out. Right now, it's a marketing strategy, which you guys know me. I don't play those games of the marketing things. You've got to have a little bit of marketing technique, but also I just don't resonate at all with the fear aspect, right? One of the things you've heard me say over and over and over for the past 10 years since I've been doing this is no fear. There's no fear. There's no need to be in a hurry, right? I mean, there are things that you do need to do in a timely fashion, but even if it's something you're being divinely guided and there's a little bit of urgency, it's not going to be a fear of missing out. It's going to be you really need to get this done. It's something you really need to pay attention to, something you really need to look at. So be really aware of the fear of missing out. I'm just going to get some cards because I feel like it would be good to pull some cards for this. Obviously I'm not in my camper, so I don't have all of my decks available, but I feel like I'm going to go with the enchanted map, and I'm going to use the Kuan Yin. So what I really want to say is the first part of this month feels very more inward, more, and this could be Cancer, Leo, right? Because it could just be that, but I feel like it's a little bit more than just that. This first part of the month is very introspective. Like I said, it's a great time to journal before, I think it's the 23rd when Venus goes retrograde. And the thing to really be aware of is Venus is money and love. But what my guides are saying, again, is time is money is energy. So more so than looking at your money for this specific Venus transit and the Venus retrograde, look at your time. Where are you spending your time? What are you spending your time on? What are you spending your time thinking about? What are you spending your time reading, watching, looking at, focusing on, right? So be aware. It would be a really good time, honestly, to maybe cut back on social media a little bit, which I know is probably not a popular opinion, right? But, Jim and I just took a little mini vacation. I left on the 30th. I turned off all my social media and I didn't check it again until yesterday, right? So yesterday and this morning is when I keep seeing the 777 pop up. And yes, it's a powerful portal. 7 is a very powerful number. Yes, there's a 777 gateway, right? Because we're in the 7 year, there's all these sevens, July 7th, but every year is a portal, or every year and every month, right? So January 1st, February 2nd, March 3rd, any numbers where they're double like that is always a gateway. So what's going to happen is now everybody's saying 777 is this great big portal. Well, now it's going to be 88 for the Lions Gate. That happens every year. There is an intensity to the energy because we're in new frequency. So the intensity, we've been feeling that coming for the last, couple of years anyway. So this also is nothing new, right? For those of us that have been doing the work for a little bit. I'm going to pause and pull cards so you guys don't have to watch me shuffle because that seems like a waste of time to me. So I'll be right back. Okay, guys. So seriously, this is, again, can't make this stuff up, right? Okay. So what's interesting is I pulled cards. Remember how I said it felt bipolar? It's literally like bipolar. This is the first half of the month. This is the second half of the month. So what this is the Enchanted Map, 𝗁𝗵𝗿𝗃 deck. The first one is this, it's Spark and it's reversed. Okay. Which again, I feel like the first half of this month, go within. Like this is really a good time to go within. What this card says is sometimes your fire gets doused by others who don't want you to be all that you can be. In that case, you need to move away from the water lest things get too damp. The Spark card in reverse position may also indicate that you're allowing yourself to be so consumed by a thought, feeling, or situation that you're in danger of being completely burnt out. FOMO, right? Fear of missing out. Be careful of that energy. Like it really feels prominent for the first half of this month. Compulsion and impulsiveness can be tempered now. Rest by a warm fire, let things die down a bit, and then you'll see if a true spark will still be there. If not, you can always light another fire at another time. So this first half of the month, be really aware of where you're spending your time and your energy. Don't get caught up in fear of missing out. I feel like that's, whether that's fear of missing out for family barbecues or fear of missing out of going on a trip or fear of missing out of not having, like whatever it is, like be really aware. If there's an energy of fear of missing out, I would say take a step back and really decide, like have discernment of where you want to spend your time at, because time, money, energy, like I really feel like that's exactly what the first half of this month is about. Okay. Obviously we're already almost a week in, but that's what I'm feeling. It's all about trusting yourself and having discernment and divine sovereignty. Again, this is a powerful gateway, but be aware of if you're doing the work and what actions you're taking, and make sure you're taking actions in alignment and not out of fear of missing out, right? Like don't make a decision because you're afraid it won't happen. I always tell everybody, like, feel into it. Like anytime I'm selling a course or with this new Transact card that I'm doing, everybody that I've talked to, I'm like, take a minute, feel into it. If it feels right, sign up, get a card, like whatever it is that the offer is for that, even getting a reading, like feel into it. Before you do that, take your time and feel into it. As I'm doing that, I'm almost, there's this new little gif of this little girl that she like takes a step and then she does like a little jiggle. And then she takes another step and does a little jiggle. I feel like that's how you should move through this month. Like take a step, get a minute, get your bearings, see what's going on, then take the next step. Like don't be in a rush, especially the first part of this month. The second half is going to be flying. I'm going to come back in. I already can feel like I'm going to come back in towards the middle of the month. So probably next week sometime to talk about this a little bit more. The second half of the month, upright flying. So you have the power to see things from a higher perspective. It says, if you were a bird flying in the air, what would you see? When you soar above life's challenges and opportunities, a new perspective becomes available. Today, you have invisible wings that allow you to swiftly bring your circumstances into alignment with your highest purpose. This is a sign that your waiting is over and that all your hard work is paid off. The things you hope for are no longer beyond your scope. You have the ability to reach for the stars and find one with your name on it. Spread your wings and soar. The angels are waiting for you. Now, even as I'm saying that, I'm seeing, I don't want to say calculated steps because that's not right, but like you want to be taking steps that feel right and that are in alignment and are not rushed. Okay. So calculated steps, that word calculated isn't quite the right word, but I think you understand what I mean. Like be aware of the steps that you're taking, take them with intentionality, make sure that you know why you're taking the steps that you're taking. Again, guys, the first half of this month, really, 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 I would say be journaling, be spending time introspectively, like within yourself, like making sure that you're in alignment with your values and what you want, right? Those are the kind of things that are really going to be powerful moving forward. The other one I pulled is from the Kuan Yin Oracle, and this one is Elena Fairchild. And this is, it says Sisterhood of the Star Blossoms. Now what's interesting is it came up to the number 7 again, because it says in here, the ancient Chinese over 2,000 years ago referred to the Pleiades as star blossoms. The 7 stellar sisters work together as a group of higher consciousness to radiate great love and light on our planet, and they can assist you now in finding the light for the groups with which you share involvement. So this is about finding your people, finding your friends, finding good relationships. And again, Venus, all about relationships. And we're going to be moving into the nodes are going to shift, right? So the nodes are going to shift in, I think it's like the 17th, 18th of this month. So again, it's a bipolar month. Like there's so many things changing around the 15th to the 20th. This first half of the month is going to feel completely different than the second, but I feel like this card is basically asking us to understand that we each have our own unique journey, and that we can, it's important, I think, moving forward in life, and this is like not just moving forward in July, but like this is important to start cultivating relationships again. Okay. Again, Venus is relationships, and it's not always just your significant other, it's relationships with other people in general. So I feel like it's a really good time to start building relationships again, because we've all been pulled apart from each other, especially during the pandemic. Like, so find a way to cultivate relationships. Find that there may be some relationships completely falling away. Like I said, this is bipolar, but it's an up level. So if you're not resonating with the same people anymore, allow those relationships to dissolve or float away. Like, I'm not seeing anything harsh, but like, it's okay to let some of those relationships go so that you have new room for new relationships that are more in alignment and more heart-centered and more, same vision, same energy, same mission, even maybe, because you're, again, just like Ascension Club, like I feel like we need each other. I feel like it's a powerful way to check in and check the energy and ask questions and all of those things. So sending you guys lots of love. Please, if you can, be on the call. I would like to talk to everybody about the dates and the times. I really feel like I'm leaning towards starting in August, switching to the Tuesdays. It just feels right for me. If you can't make it on the call this month, just drop me a message and let me know if you think Tuesdays work. I had posted like a poll. I think it's about 60-40 right now. So it's not an overwhelming leaning towards Tuesdays, but there's enough that I think I'm going to go ahead and do that. So unless I hear from everybody, I don't know whether that's the right thing to do or not. So message me and let me know if Tuesdays feels better for you guys. Again, feel into everything this month. Take intentional steps. Be aware of your energy, be aware of your time, be aware of your focus. All of those things are really important this month. So sending you guys lots of love, and I will talk to you all soon.